Before we begin, thank you very much to Milo R for joining my Patreon campaign, or Milo R. I'm not actually sure how you pronounce that spelling, but thank you very much for supporting the show. I really do appreciate you. And everyone who pitches into the channel, because it helps me out a lot, keeps the channel going. If you guys want to keep this up, I will keep making this daily. You can't stop me. Well, you can, but you haven't, so thank you. All right. So it is news roundup time. There's a bunch of things that we get to talk about today. A lot of reveals, a lot of mysteries revealed. Now, remember those jungle mission packs that were listed for Target that everyone's kind of speculating what they could multi-pack in together? Well, it's actually come out. We finally know what they are, and it's the same exact deluxes for the new movie that we already saw. So from what it seems like, it doesn't look like there's any actual difference between the individual releases, because we know those are happening. We have the listings for them, and they seem completely identical to the ones I've already taken a look at. Here's the robot modes. I mean, it's the standard mainline series, not the studio series molds. Cheetor, Nightbird, and the new Wheeljack, the controversial new Wheeljack. It's weird. It's just a gift set. That's all it is. That's all it really is. It's just a gift set of a bunch of current deluxes. I really do wish they had gone in some different direction or offered some modification in deco, and maybe if I put these side by side with the other leaks we've seen, maybe they would. Or for all we know, the leaks that we have are these versions of the toys, and what we are getting in the main line will look different somehow. We don't know. That's the thing about toys leaking early. There's a lot of stuff about it we don't actually know. But for now, it just seems like they are multi-packs of standard releases. Not a whole lot more exciting than that. All right. What was more interesting was I believe this is the first time we've seen Mirage's mainline toy, which looks a little odd in the vehicle mode. I think because the translucent window on the backside is clipping through what should still be gray. It's a little bit weird there. It's missing a little just a little tip of paint to round it out. But the robot mode looks decent enough. It doesn't quite, the head sculpt doesn't quite strike me as the character we've seen, so that's going to be a little bit off. So I think we kept speculating that this line came out, this is the line that would have been very early on, pre-production stuff, and then the line we're getting, stuff we're getting for studio series is likely the more screen accurate. I would imagine that's why these Beast figures tend to look a little bit more like traditional Beast Wars characters than the movie characters we've seen. So yeah, this is probably an earlier version of Mirage than we actually see on screen. I mean, it still looks good. And then they revealed a Scorponok as well, with another Scorpion Sand Spear as an accessory. Now, this set is only listed $15, so this is going to be a very simplistic figure. This is a very simple, I can see the hinges in the top of his torso, so this is probably just going to be fold up, lay flat, legs to the side. That's your Scorpion mode type look. Who knows? We might not even transform at all, for all I know. We might be looking at an Action Master style design. But whatever. It is a brand new Scorponok, at least. And one of the few brand new things they revealed that we did not know about. Alright, moving on. So, that Origins Jazz thing that Hasbro just randomly dropped on us out of nowhere and completely caught everyone off guard? Someone's already got it in hand and took a lovely gallery, looking very, very nice. I do love the Origin designs. I love the Origin idea of, let's make it super cartoon accurate in robot mode, but it turns into this weird Cybertronian vehicle that we only got to see, in one scene. I believe if they want to continue this, Wheeljack's the only one left that we actually, aside from, if they want to do, dead accurate Tetrajets, which I would be absolutely down for. But no, this is cool. This is actually really cool. The scary thing about this? It's already been cited. There's people who've already bought it off of a shelf. That's incredible. This is the kind of stuff that that Hasbro could do more often if they would tighten their screws and actually keep things a little bit closer, like reveal and then launch really close by each other without a leaker getting hands on it or without anyone finding out about it. And that makes a far more exciting product to me. And if this is going to be one of those like 8 per case buzzworthy releases, like a lot of the other ones, like the toy accurate, like the last Origin Bumblebee or the toy accurate Pterosaur, that excitement's going to help those a lot because they tend to linger on the shelves. All right, but that is out. Go look. You never know. We have in-hand galleries for Shrapnel, our next Insecticon. I'm super looking forward to this being released. All the Insecticons, actually, because it looks like they're going to do a much better job with this set. He is on the small side, which I think is appropriate for the Insecticons. I mean, this is going to be one of those toys where people will complain about the size because it's also not going to be a very complex figure. But, I mean, at the very least, it's the correct scale for him. He looks good. It looks like the tones match his predecessor. That was the big thing with the last set of Insecticons they did not match the purples and the yellows. And it was really frustrating because it didn't look like they went together at all. These, yeah, spot on. These are just absolutely like peak Insecticon. Now we just need to get Bombshell out. Yeah, you can see the improvement. It's a big improvement over the last attempt. Look at the swarm. Look at the swarm. See, this is where you can actually see it. Like it's especially in the yellow. Like all three do something different with the yellows. And then Kickback's got different purple than the others. It was a weird design choice on the originals. I'm really happy they're doing it again this way. So. If it's in hand, then it's not going to be too far from getting out in the world, so keep an eye out. All right, we got early potato images of this guy. Now we can finally see it in all its glory. Yes, there is a Nemesis Prime version of Canon Optimus, which makes it a lot more. There's a lot more sense to it. Not the fact that the camera's now evil, but the color just works a lot better for Nemesis Prime than it does for Optimus. So you don't have this big black box of camera sitting in the middle of your Optimus Prime. I mean, it's still a silly release. And with poses like this, I think Canon is aware of that. I think it's him supposed to be kneeling. But I really think it's more fun to actually imagine that Nemesis Prime is skipping and frolicking. Okay, it turns into the same camera as the other two, so that's not compromised at all. It comes with a matrix that looks like it's got a D20 stuck in it. It's fine. It's fine. It's another weird release. It's a very obvious release. If you didn't get Optimus or Reflector, well, you got one more shot, unless they do an Ultra Magnus camera, which don't think they won't. They'll milk this for all it's worth. All right, something a little bit more interesting to me. So remember that premium paint-esque version of Kingdom Megatron and Optimus Primal we saw from Takara? Now we're getting into the really good stuff about it. So first off, we've seen the packaging. It's a all gray slipcover with some like stylized black and white art. Inside is this very like dry earth design for the insert in the box. The cool part about the box is that we do not get a good look at it here, but it is a recreation of the original 2-pack that Takara released of Optimus Primal and Megatron. Super, super cool. This is officially dubbed the Eternal Beast Showdown pack, by the way. And I would not be showing you the box if we could not see what was inside the box, and this is magnificent. Look at all the extra paint apps on Megatron. Aside from the color tones being very different, like everything trying to be like, it does remind me of the Beast Wars Reborn set, where like Takara just went nuts making that toy as show accurate as possible. And then you get this, like, look at all of the texture work on his skin. Look at all of the little the little lines of lilac, like lavender going through the purple. It's super impressive what they're doing. This is at a mass retail level. This is super impressive. Primal, maybe not so much. It's actually kind of hard to discern what is different on Primal compared to his Kingdom figure. And the only real difference I saw was in the Beast mode, where he's got a better face, you know, and like especially in the eyes. And that's pretty much it. It's pretty much it. Like, everything else is hard to discern. Like, this is a set I would be into for Megatron all by himself. I did see someone say that they would be more into this set if the plastic on Megatron wasn't that really soft stuff, but I honestly don't know how they would switch it for hard plastic and still function right. I don't know. Well, we'll have to wait in hand to see if they did any change to the plastic style. I think it's really just going to be a deco change, but it looks incredible. The set's going to put you back a little over $100 for an American released one. That is not too bad for two premium quality repaints from Takara. It's, you know, considering one is Leader class and one is Voyager class, you're already in it for like 80 to 90 bucks there. So really, for the upgraded paint, you're in about 15. That's not bad. It's not bad. It's a lot better than I expected it to be. I've got my pre-order in. I don't know if I'm actually going to go for it or not, but just in case. All right, we have behind-the-scenes stuff for the new War for Cybertron toys, and these are kind of in those articles that I really don't want to cover too much anymore because they are nothing but real fluff for the toy. But there's some insight to these that I do like. For starters, for Optimus Prime, they do this thing where they show the CAD from the game and then the comparison to the toys CAD, and you can see just how much closer this one is to how Optimus Prime looked in the game. Like, it's really, like, spot on Optimus. Like, really impressive job here. So that's really cool to see. But they also, if I can find it, they did comparison photos from the original toy from 2010. And they look vastly different from each other. Obviously, the new one is not nearly as reliant on panels to get the job done. It's also way buffer. It's not much taller, but it's way buffer. And a lot of people like, oh man, it looks small. I thought it'd be small. I thought it'd be a lot bigger than that. Look at how wide he is. Look at how buff he is. And that's not the thing. Look at how much bigger the vehicle is. That is a chonk vehicle. Man, and despite not seeming like it has as much panel forming going on, it looks just as sleek and round as the original one is. Like, they've done a fantastic job on this. I really want to see how this toy works. There was also something cool about the axe. So they noticed that the axe in cutscenes has one blade, and in-game it has two. So they actually designed the axe to be able to mimic either. That's really cool. That's a really cool detail to notice. So this looks fantastic. Absolutely great. Oh, that's not the one I wanted. We're gonna have to skip back to that later. All right. The next one, Barricade. There's obviously a lot more kibble to make Barricade work because he's a very slender robot in the game, but they did a good job. They tried pretty hard to get it as close as they could. The thing about Barricade that I wanted to point out is in this one, they actually made a point to mention that it was important to them to get the back of these toys looking correct because the game is from a third-person perspective. Most of the time when you're watching the characters, you're looking at their backs. That's actually a really salient point. So you can see where he actually has some detailing on his back that is accurate to how he looked up from the rear in the game. That's really cool. And I'm going to take a look at Bumblebees as well. And this is where I think this kind of preview stuff is backfiring on them because unlike the other two, Bumblebee is showing a lot of the inaccuracy that I was concerned about. So obviously the torso is way dumpier and the midsection is completely gone as a result. And the legs themselves look nothing like they did in the game. Like even the detail around the thighs that really didn't interfere with like the engineering of the robot or the vehicle mode or the transformation. It's completely different. And I don't know why they changed it. So it's a lot of weirdness going on. Like I'm still not happy with how Bumblebee came out, unfortunately. It's disappointing, but it is what it is. I'm probably still picking it up just for the sake of getting all three, especially because it looks like we're going to get more beyond this. and just to see how it transforms, because I still really like elements of that toy. I just really don't like how the original one transforms at all. All right, let's go back to what I was going, what actually got mixed up in my order list here. We have in-hand shots of the Guardian robot. Not the best quality photos, because it looks like this was taken off of a almost like a Discord call. Yeah, so yeah, we get to see comparisons. It's still not the most exciting retool to me, because it's not a retool; it's a straight repaint. But for the people who are interested, yeah, like, it looks like it's gonna be fine. Like, I mean, the original Omega Supreme is a really solid release. So I don't really expect anything weird about this one, unless the mold degradation is just like a travesty on it. Yeah, so yeah, you've got a full-blown Omega Supreme in blue on the way for those who really want a blue shuttle base. Yeah, it's not a terribly interesting, not terribly exciting one for me, but I know there's people who are going to be all over that. All right, let's get into a little bit of Rise of the Beast fluff, shall we? So we got some posters showing up with a really good shot of Mirage here. Definitely looking cool. Definitely like trying to like push him as like the character for the movie. The rest can load. A little bit of information on him. 15 foot tall. Okay, about a little on the small side for an Autobot, I think. But yeah, you get little sample stuff like this. Here's Primals. Looking nice. Yep, faction leader for the Maximals, standing at 13 feet 2 inches tall, being very specific here. Optimus Prime, obviously far taller at the 19 foot. 1987 Freightliner FLA Semi. Little bit of detail for you. I mean, it's just a little fluff material. The posters are the interesting thing. I'm not even sure why they included the behind the stat stuff, but it's something they don't normally show. And speaking of how big these things are, there is currently a world tour going around for these gigantic statues of Optimus Prime and Optimus Primal to promote the movie. They are full size and accurate in detail to the movie models. These things are put up for about a week, disassembled, shipped somewhere else in the country, and reassembled. There's a few spots, obviously, like the major metropolitan areas of the U.S. are getting it. I think, like, New York is going to have them installed. And then there's a world tour where they will also be coming to a few other countries. In particular, this one listed, Austin, Texas, Las Vegas, Nevada, Chicago, Illinois, New York. So your big, like some really, really big cities in the U.S. It's also going to be in Brazil, it's going to be in Singapore, and naturally it's going to be in Tokyo, Japan as well. So if you happen to be in one of those big cities on the right week, you might just get a photo op with a life-size Optimus Prime, which is kind of cool. I'm in a tiny little town that never gets this. They never send anything to Florida, period. If you want something that's a little bit easier to get your hands on, there are going to be puzzles available for Rise of the Beast as well. Which this is, this is like very 90s, like Trapper Keeper style design work going on here. This is a little bit, I suppose it's for a kid's puzzle, so it's going to look like this. Nothing terribly interesting. Just if you like your puzzles and you like your Transformers, you're going to have a few options here. The Cheetor one is going to drive everyone insane because it's mostly green. Trying to match up which green with a little bit of darker green goes with which piece with dark green with a little bit of light green. I hate those puzzles, but that exists. Or it will exist, at least. Also, Cheetor is confident, youthful, and brash. And put betting odds on how much of that we're actually going to see represented in the movie rather than just being told. Because I'm still concerned about how much screen time a lot of these characters are going to get. And let's wrap it off with shoes. Air Jordans, specifically. So, let's see. This is a weird one. So, the title of the article is Air Jordan 5 Transformers Edition Mark Wahlberg Sample. Okay. So, Mark Wahlberg does a lot of work with the Air Jordan brand, and for the wrap of the last night, he got a pair of shoes, most likely one-off shoes with like a lot of little Transformer references sewn in, like the number 84 on the side, an Autobot logo on the sole. The soles are glow in the dark too for some reason. So see, but these are a different version. These are a different version, a little bit more black, a little less detailed, but you can see a little bit of Transformer influence with the grid, the 84, little purple and red spots along the shark teeth there at the side. There's the Autobot symbol under the glow. Inside, I believe the inner sole has some Transformer styling to it, which is it's weird because you don't want to give up the fashion sense of the Air Jordan brand, but you also try to push a little bit of Transformer in there, which comes across a little bit light. It's just an oddball thing to end off on. Maybe it's not something you're ever going to get to own, but hey, they exist. Transformers Air Jordans actually exist. So, thank you everyone for joining me for yet another news roundup. I hope you're all caught up with your news for the week, and I will be back as always on Monday to give you another roundup of everything you missed. Until then. Guys, I am facing the most powerful enemy any YouTuber can face, the algorithm, and I need your help to defeat him. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment. Every time you do, we attack that algorithm and we drive it back until it can no longer defeat this channel. Thank you very much.